Hey everybody, this is Renee from Chez Renee Sparkles. I'm starting a new YouTube channel that's going along with my booth that I have inside Born Again, where I just create things. I love to do all kinds of crafting, sewing, that type of thing. And I love to do, my favorite is upcycle crafts and jewelry. And so this is something I wanted to show you. It's going to combine the two of them. And the purpose of this channel is to maybe show you some unique things or show you how to do things that I enjoy doing. And in the process, I hope that that will spark some inspiration, spark your imagination, and spark joy. And that's kind of where the sparkle comes from in the Chez Renee Sparkles. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a sparkly girl because I do like the jewelry that I wear. I wear a whole lot of stuff that I make, and the jewelry that I wear a lot of times does have a sparkle to it. I also donate some of the things that I make. I donate it to the place that I work work with sometimes. I will, and I donate it to a place in LaGrange, Georgia called Breast Friends, and it's a lady named Tina. She makes up baskets for the hospital, and they give them to ladies who are going through breast cancer treatment. And when I first started doing it, I did that to honor Miss Betty Bowen, who was a very dear friend of mine, and to also honor my Aunt Fannie Mae Fibash. Both of those ladies were very wonderful ladies, and they passed away from breast cancer treatment. And I wanted to do something to kind of help out, but at the time I was working a regular 40-hour job, but I was also working my booth on the weekend. So I didn't really have a whole lot of time to spare. And of course, working two jobs, I was doing that because I needed extra money, so I didn't have a whole lot of money. And Tina came into the antique shop that I was working in, and we just got to talking, and she was admiring some of my handiwork, my jewelry, and told me what she was doing. So I told her, I said, well, that's just the perfect thing. I just feel like, God sent you to me, the universe joined us together because I had been wanting to do something to help out, and this way I could use my time and my talent and donate it to put things in the baskets. I love doing that. I've kind of expanded the different things. I started out with a necklace that I made, but I've kind of expanded to earrings and bracelets and a little Kleenex cover, that kind of thing. It's been a real joy. I've so much, and the joy has just become more because, unfortunately, there's been people that I've known and people that I've also known through work and people I've known in the community that told me, well, I got one of those baskets, and I saw this in there. Is that something that you made? Because it looks like something you've made. And it was very gratifying to me that they would kind of recognize my work. And it just made me feel so good to know that it was helping people that I knew. And so I really enjoy giving to the community and people that I knew. Not just people I knew. There's a lot of people that I've never met that it brings joy to as well. And that's very important to me. I just feel like God gave me these talents, and it brings me so much joy to create these things. And then I enjoy selling these things. And basically, it's not like really a business where I'm making money. I'm just pretty much making my hobby pay for itself, and also that allows me to donate, and it brings me joy to know that it's sparking joy in others. So anyway, I just wanted to share that a little bit with you. So today I'm combining my very two favorite things, which is upcycle crafting with jewelry making. So I found at a yard sale these beautiful vintage necklaces that were made with something that's called it's called a wedding bead, no, a wedding cake bead, and this is what it looks like. And it's glass, everything that, and it has applied glass on there, so you can see. And isn't that beautiful? Look at that, so gorgeous. But the necklace that I took these off of, it wasn't particularly, they didn't look that great. The metal pieces that were in between these beads, the bead caps on there, had kind of gotten old and they didn't look real good. So I said, these are too beautiful to just not do something with them. And I thought, well, these are so beautiful, they would make really nice earrings. And I love vintage jewelry. In my booth, I have a lot of vintage jewelry too. I've even come up with a way to take the vintage earrings and convert them to ear hooks so that people with pierced ears can wear them, and they're much more comfortable to me personally. So what I do is I will just take one of these head pins. It's called a head pin because the pin does have a little, you can see it there, it has a little head. There you go, you can see it has a little head on it. And then I have, I'm sitting here in one of my very happy places because I'm surrounded by all my little sparkly things. And so I do have different, like little metal pieces as well. And let's see what else. I have some of these. And I just play around with it. I take all my different like little ones and I go, oh, maybe this will look cool. So I'll sit here and try different things, and just whatever really appeals to me, that's what I do. So this is the earring that I came up with, that I designed, and I do like it because the way that it looks, it does look like a more vintage earring. This is actually made with the head pin here, and then here at the bottom you see there's a little pink sparkly. There's a bead cap here, a bead cap here, and then I stacked another bead cap on top of that, and then there's a little metal bead. And you can layer those bead caps like that, and it really kind of gives it some depth and some texture, which really adds to your design. So the very first thing I have is I have here, these are little small pink, they're faceted beads. I think they're really small. They're probably like a size 3 bead, 2 or 3 bead. So I put that on first, that little small bead. I put it on the head pin. Then I take my bead cap and I slide it on, and it's sitting on top of that. Then I will choose one of the beads and slide it down on there. See? Then I will take another bead cap, the same one that I used on the bottom, and and I'll set it down on top of there like that. You can see how it looks. And I liked the way that that looked, but I wanted to just give it a little something extra. Anybody that knows me, yes, Miss Tony, I'm talking about you especially. She's my sweet friend. I love her to death, but we were talking the other day and I said something about, well, you know, I'm always a little extra. She goes, well, yeah, you know, she didn't really mean it in a bad way. She was just kind of being very agreeable and nice like she always is. And I was like, yeah, see, her husband was there. And I was like, yeah, see, she didn't even try and argue with me about that. And we had a real nice laugh, shared a real nice laugh about that. It's not something that I can deny. But I do try and use my powers for good. Not always successful every day, but I do try and use my powers for good. So then, see, I put the second, got a little bit ahead of myself. I put the second bead cap on top. Let's see, there we go. We can see that now. There's 2 bead caps there. And then I took a very small little tiny bead and put it on top. And see how the difference in having those two beads up there, the two bead caps on there? See the difference that just that little teeny tiny bead makes? It just changes the whole look of it. And so that's one of the things that's just so fascinating to me, is how you can change these metal bits that you work with, swap them around, and you can use the same bead but use the different bead caps, other beads and things like that with them, and the mix up other beads, other bead caps, spacer beads and that kind of thing to make it come out really different. All right, so here I have, you can see, I just snipped off because this is so long, as you can see, it's very long. So I just snip off a little bit of that extra up there. You can see, like that. See? I snip that off. Then I take my round pliers. See how they're round. They're not flat like that, and they don't have those grooves in them that will mark the head pin. And I just put it up like that. Just take it, turn it. I like to be a little bit extra and turn it, give it a little bit of an extra turn. It just makes it more secure. And I do think that that is one reason that my things are kind of more like recognizable by people who know me and know the stuff that I make, because I do these extra little things, and it just makes a difference. And sometimes people can look at it, they can't even really tell you what the difference is, but they just notice it. So now I'm taking the ear hook right here, and I'm going to hook that loop that I just put on the earring. I'm going to hook it on just like that. You see? All right. Oops. I'm going to straighten that bead up. That bead cap kind of came. See? All right. Then I will take the needle nose pliers, these flat ones. It's easier for me to use these to just close the loop back up. See how, let's see, there we go. I think you can see it now. See how it's closed up. So the earring is secure. And my final thing that I do, if I can find what I did with them, my earring backs, they're right there on that little tray. Would you please? Thank you. That's my lovely assistant, my granddaughter, Kaylin.
Hello.
She's going to be one of my guest stars on my on one of the videos I do. We've already been discussing kind of what we want to do. She is so creative, even more creative than I am. She can just like look at a shape and just, she doesn't even have to draw it out on paper. She can just like cut it right out. I'm just amazed by how smart she is and how creative she is. And I have people say, well, she got it from you, but I'm like, that's not true. I still got all mine. All right, so I already had an earring made, so I'm just completing the pair here. Let's finish up. I thought I put out another one of those. Oh, I did. Okay. So now I have a lovely pair of vintage earrings. They're made from real vintage beads, and you're taking this old necklace where the metal parts of the beads weren't good, so it was actually kind of making the beads that were in the necklace, these absolutely exquisite beads, making them look kind of bad. It was sort of detracting from their beauty. And by breaking that necklace down, now I can make a bunch of earrings, because you can see I have quite, oops, let's get these out of the way, quite a few beads there. So I can make quite a few different pairs of earrings out of them, and that'll spread the joy even further. So I just want to thank you so much for joining me here. I also want to thank my friend Lisa. She has a YouTube channel too, and I believe it's called Diamond Painting Nurse. I'll have to verify that with her, and maybe correct it later on in the links down below. But we'll have a lot more of these to follow. I'm going to try and post at least once a week, and I'll do more if I can, because I really enjoy sharing this with everybody. So thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I hope this has sparked some joy, and I hope it's inspired you, your imagination, to maybe go out and create some, and it can spark joy in you in the process, and maybe share with others and spark even more joy. I think that's what we need in these times, is to share the joy. There's a lot of hard things going on right now, but there's still a lot of good things going on as well. And I think that's what we need to be sharing with each other. That's something that I really, I don't know, I just feel like kind of God, or if you want to say God, the universe, or whoever has led me to do this, to share that wonderful joy that He's given me with others. Thank you so much. I hope y'all have a good evening. Don't forget to click subscribe and join me back here again. Thanks. Bye.